cold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this.
Can Zeke deke again? It's a coach. You're tuned in to Matt.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, Stafford here. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The numbers for Zeke from last week. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Right back to him on first down. A nice little juke. And out across midfield down to the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
He'll buy some time right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. He's going to get it running right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Keith Marshall, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
On second down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw is Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
There you go. 26.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, Zeke with a quick feed. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Here's Prescott, eluding the pressure right. Looking, touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Point after try forthcoming.
We just saw one of the benefits of a quarterback having mobility. Scrambled around, kept the play alive, and then found a receiver open downfield for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now a handoff. Johnson. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Long. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now they'll run it on the toss. Zeke with a shake and bake. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So a change of possession here on the punt. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Give him 30 yards there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Marshall. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Keith Marshall with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
Offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's caught. Jones. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on third down, Stafford. This is Reddick on the screen. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He gets it to Thomas. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So on fourth down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Prescott now on second down. Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jonathan Bostic in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Third and long for Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Still shedding tackles. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down.
Here go 46. Here go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Cooper was the target there, and that'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here go. 26.
On second down, Prescott again. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Here go. Go to 54. Go to 54.
Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Here go. 180. Then we're going to 53. Go. Get out there. 26.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Second down, Prescott. Rolling to his right. Letting one fly deep. Oh, wide open, complete. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 62 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. Out to his left. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Stafford now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. Stafford now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Johnson. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Set, 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Back to throw, Stafford. And Thomas has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Hey, here we go. 480.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. They'll roll him out right. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Under. Woo.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A second down throw for Prescott. He'll buy some time right. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, wide, 26.
Prescott rolling to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go, wide, under. Here you go. 41 to the wheel. 26.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
It's coming now. Here we go. Wide.
On third down, it's Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing, Bradford, and the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given...
And the pressure gets to him again. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's taken down inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
47. Go, get out there, get out there.
Right back to him on first down. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Keith Marshall taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now he bowls him over. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, Stafford here. And this will be incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will narrow this, if that's even the right word, to a 30-point deficit. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They go play action here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Here we go. Go, get out there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 22 and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw is Prescott. Flush to his right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we focus on the tight end, Julius Thomas. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held him down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards. Now a first down throw. Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down. Again, it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now Stafford looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays, they want it.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile. About it.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Extra point good by Prater as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
Get out, get out.
Prescott here to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devon Kennard in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Second down, Prescott. On the move. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jonathan Bostic in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Third and long for Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Stafford on first down. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Throwing here, Prescott. He's going to air one out. That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0.